So let me get this straight. If children are at low risk of serious illness or mortality from the COVID-19 virus, and kids are also not significant vectors of transmission of the COVID-19 virus, and other nations have opened schools without significant outbreaks of COVID-19, then the liberals who are insisting that schools remain shut down in the fall, they must be power-hungry anti-science tyrants dictating policy based on ideology and fear and not on science. Here's the actual science. Children are less likely to die from COVID-19 than they are to die from the regular flu. Let me say this in another way. Children are more likely to die from the flu than from COVID-19. In fact, here are the numbers. Ovik Roy at the Foundation for Research on Equal Opportunity crunched the numbers, and here's what he found. If you are under 1 year old, you are 17 times more likely to die from the flu than from COVID-19. If you are between the ages of 1 and 4, you are 20 times more likely to die from the flu than from COVID-19. If you are between 5 and 14 years old, you are almost 7 times more likely to die from the flu than from COVID-19. If you are between 15 and 24 years old, you are 1.25 times more likely to die from the flu than from COVID-19. Statistically speaking, kids are not at serious risk of mortality from COVID-19, and the data proves that. But what about transmission? Are germy little kids unknowingly passing the COVID-19 virus to their teachers and their parents and their grandparents and vulnerable populations? Not much, according to the latest science. Here are the facts. Studies from the World Health Organization, the UK, and the Netherlands show that children are not significant vectors of transmitting the virus. Data from Sweden shows children have not started any outbreaks of the COVID-19 virus, even though they've been in school the whole time. And a study from Australia shows that children transmit the flu more often at school than they do COVID-19. So why are liberal politicians insisting that schools remain closed in the fall then? In case you haven't heard, Harvard is going online the whole 2020-2021 school year, but still charging students full tuition. This is anti-science. I challenge any of these leftists to show me one reputable study that shows kids are at high risk or of mortality or are significant vectors of transmission of the COVID-19 virus. One study. You can't. Now, you might be wondering, why am I promoting opening public schools when I spend half my life condemning the radical leftist indoctrination, the revisionist history and radical sex ed, anti-Christian bias, and overall crummy academic outcomes that are produced by government-funded public schools? Don't get me wrong. This shows us more than ever why we don't want anti-science leftist politicians in charge of our children's education. They're messing with the education of your child based on their own political agenda, ignoring the truth and ignoring the science, which is, of course, what they do. So here's a solution to school closures. Homeschool your kids and avoid the radical leftist indoctrination in public schools run by paranoid anti-science leftists. And while you're at it, vote them out of office. Win-win.